Used to work in retail, any store I walked into within a 1 kilometer radius customers would recognize you and assume I worked there. I used to work at Byway when it still existed in Ontario, but every time I would walk into any store within the area people kept assuming I worked there. Didn't realize so many people could remember my face. Not sure if this happens to other people as well, but it went on for a couple of years even after I stopped working there. One time that stands out, I was shopping in the Canadian Tire across the street from the store I worked at, holding a car of paint, and a lady walks up and asks where I keep my wrenches, and I replay in an old milk crate, "I want to get one of those upright toolboxes one day." She says, "Excuse me," I say, "Gotta go, got things to do," and I walk off and continue shopping. As I'm getting close to the cash registers, there is the same lady yelling at 3 employees, and she starts pointing at me. "There he is, it's him." I stop, look at them, and one of them says, "Are you talking about this customer?" At this point she starts going on about them just trying to cover for their buddy, and she wants to talk to the real manager. Manager says, "You can go, she thought you worked here." Next day I'm at work at Byway and she sees me as I'm walking in for my shift, lets out an annoyed huff, walks away, and of course comes back with my manager. He tells her to wait while he talks to me. He follows me to the stock room, asks me what happened. I tell him she thought I worked at the Canadian Tire yesterday and thought I wasn't helpful, and was yelling at the staff when they couldn't find who the rude employee. At this point he laughed and said he thought I set a record for pissing off a customer off before I even managed to punch in. What we didn't notice was she followed us into the stock room. At this point we hear, "Aren't you going to do something about it?" We both turn and he says, "No. And you're not allowed back here." She says, "I'll never shop here again." Manager replies, "How about your father? You'll never see us again." He looks at me and says, "Thank you. You figured out how to get them out of my store." She stomped off, saw her again, and again, and again. Apparently her and her father were always a pain to deal with. Another Karen in her natural habitat. So first post here, and if you can't tell from the name, it's a side account, lol. And sorry it's really long, but well, here it is. Edit, sorry if it gets confusing, was trying my best typing this, not the best when it comes to this. But let me give some background to what happened and about me. To start, this all happened at a Walmart, and this specific store my mother had worked at for 20 years and I had worked at for a year, so to put it, I know a lot of the employees very well and the managers too. Great people, most of them have known me my whole life. It had been about 2 years since I had worked there, but nonetheless, before I go into this fun experience, let me explain about me. To start, and is one of the issues cause this Karen couldn't understand it, I am trans male to female. I, especially at this time, had a very feminine body, though my hair looks shortish because it's really curly. But I am 19 and 6 foot 2 inches and am pretty thin, but definitely have some muscle on me, with natural brown hair with heavy blonde highlights. Now I'm very self-conscious on how I look, and on top of that have very bad social anxiety, so already not leading up to anything good when a Karen's involved, and I don't speak a lot in public, or if I do, I'm extremely quiet for many reasons. So let me get into it. On this day I'm in some light pink and blue shoes, shorts, women's jean shorts, so like barely shorts lol, and a crop top t-shirt. Nothing even close to the store uniform. No vest or hat or name badge, especially considering my shirt was bright pink. But on this sad day I walked and just took my car up to grab some stuff, as I wanted to go home and cook something nice for dinner. My family was out of town at the time, and just relax. So I have my cart and have quite a lot in it already, and I'm kneeling on one knee looking on the bottom shelf for something. Can't even come close to remembering what it was. Probably important to state I had wireless earbuds on at the time. So I'm looking, listening to my music, when someone tapped rather hard on my shoulder. I flinched at the tap and quickly took my earbuds out and look up to see what was up. There she stood, the most Karen-looking Karen the first I've ever seen. She had everything from the haircut to the outfit. I look up to her to ask if I could help her or if I was in her way. Before I can even say a word, she is on me ranting how I should have my vest on and shouldn't have earbuds in while working, and she just keeps going. Now me, I hate being in public for the most part, and this has my face bright red and I'm just dying inside. The whole time she's ranting I keep getting referred to as a young man and boy, which makes my face even more red as looking at me nothing really stood out that would give the idea that I'm a male, especially the D-cup chest I had that was very easy to see in the crop top shirt I was wearing. Nonetheless, I begin to walk away, hiding my face, afraid to say anything or even try to correct her that I am in fact a she. My voice, especially at the time, didn't sound too feminine. Have been working on it though. I somehow was able to move fast enough to evade and lose her in the massive store and tried to resume my shopping. I had hoped that this was all over, and as I was shopping met up with someone I had worked with and knew my family well. They knew all about me, very nice overall, and proceeded to end up in a conversation as I was looking through the shelves. And then I hear her again, "I knew you worked here, you B-word," and she stomps over to me as I was talking to my friend, and she looks at my friend who is trying to stock the shelf at the time. "Excuse me," looking at him. This young man ignored me and had headphones in while working and has kept refusing to help me. Now at this time my face is red and I can feel myself about to cry because my anxiety sucks already, and the fact she keeps referring to me as a he isn't helping at all. My friend proceeds to look at me and sees my face, later told me if he wasn't on the clock he would have gone absolutely ballistic on her, and stands up and looks at her and simply says, "First of, this young woman does not in fact work here and it would be appreciated if you stopped following her and harassing her, and second, I do in fact work here, so if you need help I can help you." The woman's face gets even more red. I swear she could match bright red Ferrari with the color of her face. "Are you blind? That's obviously a guy and I know he works here, I have seen him here before." While she may have when I worked the 2 years ago, I guarantee then I didn't have makeup on and a D-cup chest wearing what I am now. Definitely then I wasn't as out as I am now. At this point though I'm crying. Looked just wonderful with my makeup now messed up, and I'm backing away at this point as she utters the line, "And God help us all. I want to speak to a manager." Her war cry was set, and now this was going to get interesting. As I'm backing up I reach the end of shelves and I see coming down from another department is someone in management who I knew quite well, and he saw me crying and ended up running over. He wasn't that far but he still ran over. Now for context, he is a tall man about 6 foot 8 inches and he is built and in a manager style clothes, blue button-up shirt and black pants with an earpiece. The second he gets to me he asks me what's wrong, and before I can say anything this Karen shrieks at me and the employee I was talking to are lying to her, and I need to be fired for being a lying B-word and he needed to be for lying to cover for me. As she is yelling this she draws the attention of 2 other members of management and 2 state troopers who happen to be in the store. Police normally are somewhere in the store, lots of thieves. This point I'm at my end, tears streaming down my face, and I'm just trying to get away from her at this point. The other 2 managers confront her and ask her what's going on, while my friend and the first manager walked with me, getting me a safe-ish distance from her, while the state police pair split, one went to her, other to me. So the manager asked me what happened and I choked out what she had done as I'm still crying from this. Note, like I said, this manager was another close friend and him and the employee with us are my closest friend group. Still talk to them today, but they have been extremely protective over me when people do things like this, especially repeatedly calling me he, and I see his face grow almost as red as this woman's, and he tells the employee to escort me to the other side of the store. Still ... yes, still had stuff I needed from over there, and walk with me as I finished shopping. So we walked away and the one trooper checked with his partner before following us, explained he did it to ensure safety, and the manager went over to this lady and I heard him yelling in the distance from across the store. Now I know this is getting long and I'm sorry for that. But nonetheless, eventually as I'm shopping something comes across the trooper's radio and he sprints off suddenly and I had no clue why. As I'm going to check out, having composed myself a bit, my friend the manager joined us and I see the Karen in cuffs being led out. I was informed she became extremely violent and proceeded to try to harm both my friend and the officer, which led to his partner sprinting off to join him to help. I was informed they had to tase her to get her to go down and she is facing multiple charges. I was later asked if I wanted to press any charges and declined. Really didn't want to deal with any of that again. Managed to check out and go home though, and after their shifts ended both my friends came and joined me chilling for the night. They said they had wanted to come make sure I was okay. Honestly, it all sucked. Definitely didn't help my social anxiety or dysphoria. And hadn't gone to that store for a bit after that, but never saw her again, thankfully. Yes. This is my child. This story is pretty tame but definitely kind of racist. Cast: me, my kids and annoying lady, from here on AL. I was at a local playground with my kids. My youngest was about 18 months at the time. She was enjoying the swings while the others ran around. My daughter was very much into hugs and kisses at this age. She especially got a kick out of asking to give you a kiss and then blowing on your cheek to make a wet sound. We had done that a couple of times and then I went back to pushing her in the swing. It's also important to note that I'm black and my husband has a very light complexion and so do my children. Annoying lady, she's so cute. Me, thanks. Annoying lady, she really seems to love you. Me, I hope so, looking confused. Annoying lady, does her mother mind you being so affectionate with her? Me, I'm her mother. Annoying lady, oh. I didn't. You don't look like her. Me, well, she's all mine. Annoying lady, is her dad white? Me, nope. Annoying lady, but she has blue eyes. Me, yeah, most black people have ancestors that were passionately hugged by white men, so we come in all colors. That was the end of her questions.